Marvelous. And we're gonna talk about the divine knowledge with him, and he's gonna explain it. What is the divine knowledge, and what is the knowledge we can enhance and we can develop ourselves with that kind of techniques and therapies, and with his advice actually. So there is a big name with us, which is David Walter.
David, welcome to the show. And pleasure meeting you.
Thanks very much for inviting me.
Fantastic. For the very first question I'm going to ask is, Neelem's already said you're a counsellor. Just to clarify for our viewers, that's not an elected counsellor. It's somebody who gives advice, guidance and helps people, yes?
Yeah, that's right. It's life guidance, that kind of stuff, yes.
Right, okay, great, fantastic. So, David, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background?
Well, my background was I was a public servant. I worked with the police for a couple of decades within London. So that got me a lot of life experience because all of that was on the street. So I did that for a while.
You wasn't based in Waltham Forest, were you?
No, I wasn't. No,
so we haven't crossed paths then.
No, we haven't. I might have drifted over there on occasion, but no, not as a regular place. No, not at all. And then a few life-changing events occurred, and as often happens when life-changing events occurred, my life path changed, and I started meeting different people, and I looked for different things. And then I just started this spiritual path and learning from many different teachers and from Spirit themselves to learn and grow and be able to do certain things, which I then turned into being in a position to actually help people and teach people, which is what I do now.
And how long have you been doing that now?
Probably about 8 years now. 8 years, yeah.
Okay.
For actually doing it for a job, probably about 8 years. My training started probably 20 years ago. Yeah, good, maybe more.
So you were actually training for this while you were as a police officer.
Yeah, I was.
So on.
Yeah, with certain modalities, I was starting to learn about energies and about healing. That was over 20 years ago when I first started that. Yeah, okay. And then it has slowly evolved and grew into other things. But my first 10 years was focused very much on one modality, but that was the stepping stone for me to then move into other things. Yeah, it was an exciting journey. So at that time I was still a policeman, so I managed to amalgamate my journey of learning about universal energy and healing myself and channeling energy and being able to see and sense and feel things with a heightened awareness, actually while I was a policeman.
And your experience as a policeman would have obviously put you in touch with people who had many issues, many concerns, different life experiences. Yeah. And was that something that actually helped this journey? Or?
Immensely. There's no question about that, because it was in London, it was a busy place, it was busy areas of London, and also it was all on the street. I was never office bound, maybe a month here and a month there, but basically all of my service was active on the street. So yes, I saw a huge variety of things, and it gave me an immense amount of experience. So even if I haven't personally experienced it within my own life, I've seen and experienced so much with everybody's problems on all different levels, you know, from subjects of crime, from victims of this, from emotional problems, mental problems, and just seeing things that people wouldn't normally see. So when somebody comes to me, I'm actually in a position to say, well, actually, I've got some experience that I've either dealt with it as a policeman, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I've heard of it, or I've experienced it myself. It was a huge help to me, that role. Okay, massive help.
Well, thank you for that, David. Viewers, it's time for a short break now, so we're going to go into the break, and if you stay with us, then we'll come back and we'll hear a little bit more about David's journey and how he's got to where he is today. And for me, the burning question is, what is divine knowledge? So stay with us, and we'll see you shortly. Welcome back, viewers, to the second part of An Evening with Afzal Akram, and today we have with us our co-presenter Neelem Shaida, and we have David Walters with us as our guest as well. So before the break, we just got a quick introduction to David, and we were going to talk about divine knowledge.
Yeah, I really want to. I'm so excited to learn about it and to know about it. David, please tell me, what is divine knowledge?
Well, divine knowledge, quite simply, is about learning about yourself. It's about finding yourself, finding about who you are, and having tools to do that and information to do that, so that information then converts into knowledge. And the bottom line is this: it's about tuning into yourself. when you have this information and you have this knowledge, it's about feeling who you are inside, right on a deep level. And then you have an understanding of where you are and who you are and what feels right. And it's about finding yourself and then being able to help yourself and then being able to evolve and grow as a person. And that's what this is really all about, divine knowledge. It's about having the tools to evolve and improve yourself. Not necessarily just from information that you get, but also it's about just feeling what's right. You two touched on it earlier on. How do you feel what's right and what's wrong and what's good and what isn't? And everybody's got a different idea about things, but it really is about tuning into here. And it's about allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to develop, allowing yourself to achieve what you want to achieve. And there's so many different modalities that you can draw upon yourself to help you achieve this. And that's what divine knowledge is. It's actually about getting help to tune into yourself, to find out what you want and evolve and grow as a person. And because you're tuning into yourself, to your higher self, to your soul, to your spirit, to that greater part within you that most people acknowledge there's something else within us other than just bones and flesh. It's tuning into that which connects to the bigger picture, to the greater source of energy around us. And then when you tune into that, then you start to feel what's right and what's wrong. And that's when you start to learn and grow. And that's what divine knowledge is all about. It's about evolving and growing as a person to help you achieve things in your life, whether that's happiness, whether that's a good business, whether that's a better social life, whether that's happiness on all different kinds of levels, all of these things. That's what divine knowledge is truly about. It's about achieving what you want to achieve within your life on any kind of level that you want to achieve it.
So Neelem, does that answer your question, or should we dig a little bit deeper?
Yeah, please. I just want to know that why has it been fundamental to find the purpose of life and through the divine knowledge, especially in those days?
Well, it's really important because we're all on a journey. Everybody, I think, accepts that we're on some kind of a journey within this life. Whether you have a deeper meaning to it or you don't have a deeper meaning to it, we all want to know there is a meaning to life. And if nothing else, we're here to be happy and to achieve growth. And those two things on their own are really, really important. So that's why we continually try to move forward. And again, it comes down to tapping into yourself and how you feel. And if you wish to achieve things and you wish to grow, then you have to go into that greater depth within yourself. And that's why we term it as divine, because it's almost like coming from somewhere else.
Okay, hold that thought there. We have a caller. Let's see what a caller's got. Say hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hello there. My name is Raja Sikandar Khan.
Hi, Rajaskandar. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate
Rajaskandar, can you turn the volume off your... Skandar Saab, turn the volume off your TV off because we can't hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's turned up at the moment. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes.
Yeah, okay. First of all, I would like to congratulate Afzal Akram, brother. You're doing a wonderful show, and secondly, at the same time, I would like to speak to Neelem Shaida as well.
She's here.
I'm here.
Assalamu alaikum, Neelem.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for your inauguration. You did a very glorious inauguration of your Divine Knowledge program, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And at the moment, I'm looking at you guys, but at the moment, David, I think David he's talking about the Divine Knowledge, and so you are being a host. But,
Sure. What's your question, Skandar Saab? We're a bit short of time. What's your question?
Question is basically divine knowledge. I want to ask Neelem Shaida, divine knowledge. I mean, you have experienced, obviously you got a knowledge of it. I want to know, how have it changed your life, your family's life, after getting this knowledge of divine into yourself, and how could it change other people's lives?
Okay, thank you very much, Skandar Saab, for your question. We'll get both Neelem and David to maybe give their view, because I know Neelem has done a lot of work on positive mental attitude and other bits as well. But Neelem, seeing as Skandar Saab asked you first,
No, it's a very
how
valid question
How has
and very
knowledge
good.
changed your life, I suppose, is the question.
Yeah, this is the thing which we are here, that we really want to change. It's not mean by that you're going to change your life. I always say that indulge this all in information or in this all knowledge into yourself. You can when you start self-love, when you start to self-awareness, when you start to self-development, believe me, it's not only self-love, it's not only awareness about yourself, it's not only development about yourself. Your all family members, your society, your nation, your perspective is completely different between other people. When you are happy, you start to spread happiness to other people. When you are in peace, you start to have peace and you become a harmonious. It's a good point to understand the divine knowledge, because it gives you understanding not only for yourself, for the other people. Your perspective is completely changed when you start to see the things through the divine knowledge. And divine knowledge is not only mean that you have to sit down and you do meditation. It is various objects we can bring it in this divine knowledge. You can help yourself with the NLP. You can help yourself with the EFT. You can do with the kinesiology, and you can do it with the Reiki and healing. There's plenty of things you can penetrate with the knowledge.
Thank you, Neelem. David, before you give your view, we have another caller. Let's take the question and then I'll come back to you for both answers. Hello, caller. Hello.
everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
जी वालेकुम सलाम, आपका नाम?
Afzal Saeed from Bolton.
Hello Tariq साहब, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
जी सर बोले.
Well, पहले तो मैं आपको कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करूंगा कि बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम आप लोगों का हो रहा है, और नीलम बाजी आई भी हैं, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम कर रही हैं। उनको इनके नए इंस्टीट्यूट के लिए भी मैं बहुत उनको बहुत मेरे कुछ क्वेश्चन भी हैं बाजी से
जी।
पहला तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि भाई डिवाइन और स्पिरिचुअलिटी के अंदर क्या डिफरेंस है, वो जो है अगर मुझे बताएं प्लीज। और ये डिवाइन और स्पिरिचुअलिटी क्या दोनों सेम चीज़ हैं? और मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये होगा कि क्या कोई ऐसे कोर्सेज बाकी इंट्रोड्यूस करवा रही हैं जो यंग स्टूडेंट्स को, चाहे वो स्कूल गोइंग हो या कॉलेज गोइंग हो, उनको जो है ना बेनिफिट हो उससे यंग एज में ही हम उनको कुछ ऐसा ट्रेन करें, टीच करें जो उनको आगे जाके फ्यूचर लाइफ के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिशियल साबित हो।
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Neelem will do her best to answer that.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, who's this?
this is Kay.
Hi, Kay. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Kay from where?
Kay from Chingford, Essex.
Oh, hi, Kay. How are you? I recognize you now.
I'm fine, thank you. Yes.
Thank you for calling
So
in. Do you have a question for our
Thank you.
guests?
Yes, I do. I just want to ask, I've got really good energy from both of them, but how can you get rid of a bad energy?
How do we get rid
Do
of
you
bad
know-
energy?
How do you know when you've got a bad energy?
Okay, we'll take that on board. Thank you for calling in, Kay. So,
Pleasure, thank you.
thank you. So before I come to David, Neelem, Director from Bolton was asking something. It was a bad line. I didn't hear all of it. Did you catch it all?
Yeah, I catch it all.
Okay.
And thank you very much, Tariq. And your question is very valid. What is the difference between the divine and spirituality? Spirituality, it's basically it's both same. But spirituality, it's from the supreme soul, from the God. And you can adopt spirituality through your religion or through your daily practice. But the divine knowledge is every single thing. Divinity is everything. You can see divinity in earth. You can see divinity in mountains, tree, in your atmosphere, in your trees, in yourself. See, the divinity is like a tool. Like I can give you the example like this, that the person, the human being, when we come into this world and we start to do some cooking, and we invent the fire. Fire, it's because the God give us the divinity, it's knowledge through His programming. So the people or human being, they create the stuff, they invent the stuff according to their needs. So divinity, it's come for your need, to fulfill your need, and spirituality is your connection with God.
Okay, thank you. We have another caller before we come to David. It seems to be a popular topic today. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yes.
Hi, can we have your name and where are you from?
My name is Mrs. Ahmed, and I'm from Harrow.
Hello, Mrs. Ahmed.
Yes, I would like to speak to Neelem, please.
Yes, please go ahead. We're listening. What's your question?
My question is, I just want to congratulate these people. They're doing a wonderful job. I've been following them on Facebook, and they're going to help our community a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our aim is that we have to help not only ourselves, we have to help to other people, and other people is always come first for myself.
Okay, David. We had 2 or 3 questions there. One was, Neelem's answer. I want to get your perspective on it. The difference between divine and spirituality. Is there a difference? How far apart are they?
Yeah, they are very linked, to be honest with you, and it is difficult to differentiate between the two. But I think Neelem hit the nail on the head there. Divinity is to do with source energy. It's to do with the source. Whether you call that God, Allah, or whatever kind of divinity you like, it's from some higher power above there. Spirituality is more of a belief, more of a being, whereas divinity is coming from somewhere else. That's what I see the difference as.
Okay. And then just moving on from there was one of the callers, I think it was Kay from Chingford, who said, in everything there's good or bad.
Yeah.
You have good energy and bad energy.
Yeah.
How does that energy fight within you? How do you take control of it to a certain extent?
Well, that is a difficult one, and that's where, again, divine knowledge can come into it, because you start employing these methods and various different modalities to improve your awareness and improve your knowledge and improve your healing within your own body. And as you do all of those kind of things, which would be learning various different modalities, including meditation, including learning about yourself, including about dealing with your own issues, which might again take form while you're actually maybe meditating, maybe in awareness groups, maybe taking counselling, maybe doing something like EFT, or maybe doing NLP and all these kind of things. So you learn about yourself, develop your awareness, and then you have an idea of what's going on around you. And as you heighten your awareness of your own body's energies, then by that very nature you will then start to enhance your awareness of energies around you. And don't forget, everything is energy. Everything is energy. Science proved decades ago that everything's energy. We're energy, this table is energy, the walls around us, everything vibrates. So it's really important we get a grasp and we understand how we feel inside, and we improve our own energy flows. We gain control of our energy flows, and we find our peace within, and we learn from people around us. And books, while we're on that topic, for example, books and the internet, they're great tools. But you can't beat being in front of somebody that actually knows what they're talking about and will teach this kind of stuff, because then you're sharing energies and then you're starting to read each other, and there's just so much more power in that. Okay. So you become aware of negative energies around you, and they do exist. The whole universe is a divergence. We got the dark and the light, we've got positive and negative, we've got the alpha and the beta, and we've got all these polarities, and that is the nature of the universe. Protons, electrons, it is all opposite that are there. So yes, there are negative energies around. So there are bad people around and good people, there's negative and positive energies. Sure. The initial thing is to recognise that for example, you might feel unwell, you might feel uncomfortable, and they're the first 2 classic ones. Is, for example, you come across somebody you don't like, and you start to feel uncomfortable. Some people can call that intuition, some people call it a gut feeling. What you're really actually doing there is you're picking up on that person's vibration. By vibration, I mean their energy, because we're all particles that vibrate. And you're picking up on that. Listen to that. And again, we come back to tuning into yourself. How do you feel? How do you feel? Listen to it. and that gives you your answer.
Great, thank you. Callers, our switchboard is busy today. I've been told that we've got a couple of callers waiting to come on, but we have to go to a quick break. Callers, please do stay on the line. We will come to you first when we come back from the break, and we'll then talk to David about some live examples as well of how we can use this positive energy to help us in our lives. So stay with us, we'll be back. Welcome back, callers, and we're going to straight away go into speaking to some of our guests who have been holding patiently. Thank you very much, and if you weren't able to hold before the break, please do call us back again, so we'll take the calls. So caller 1, who are you, where are you from? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
This is Aileen from Woodford. Just wanted to say, really enjoying your programme tonight.
Thank you.
And just wanted to ask, is there any up-and-coming seminars or workshops? Because I'm really into, energies and divine energies, and
Sure.
I'd just like to sort of get sort of more information and attend a
Okay.
class where I could come and speak to,
Sure.
the professionals.
Sure. We'll get some information to you. Thank you for your call. Next caller.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, can we have your name and where are you from?
I'm Akib and I live in Neasden.
Hi, Akib. Thank you for calling in. What's your question?
Mrs. Neelem mentioned NLP, which I believe is a neuro-linguistic program. But how can students such as me benefit from NLP?
How can you benefit from NLP is your question, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you for that. We'll come back to you. Is there another caller online? Okay, I think that's the 2 callers. So,
I think we should have to carry on about negative and positive energy. It's very necessary to explain.
David, NLP and I think EFT you mentioned, both Neelem mentioned it earlier as well. I was going to actually ask that question, what it stands for. One of our callers actually told us what NLP stands for. That's fine. What's EFT stand for?
EFT is emotional freedom techniques. It's one
Right,
of the many
okay.
modalities, and it deals with getting within yourself, dealing with your energy flows, and getting deeper within your psyche, if you like, within yourself on a deeper level, and trying to release blockages, which will then free you emotionally and clear it. For example, if something happened to you as a child, say you got told off on a routine thing, you got told off by a grandparent when you were about 4 or 5, for say, for example, and this happened actually, a child was told off by her grandparents for not being allowed to put a coat on when she was genuinely cold, and they were in a church and the grandparents said, no, you can't, you stay as you are. And that traumatized her, even though you wouldn't think it, but later on that came back in life, that she had problems holding relationships with family sometimes and friends because she hadn't been trusted. Okay. And that had a knock-on effect.
Okay.
And that's the kind of thing that it digs back into, for example, and helps release blockages that people don't even know they've got. So again, we're looking at self-development and self-evolvement.
Okay. And NLP, how would that help an individual? What is NLP?
Well, that's more, to be honest with you, Neelem's speciality in NLP. So perhaps she's better
EFT,
to answer
let me
that.
little bit elaborate it in EFT. Like a simple example that if you're having a tummy pain, and some people they just run and get the paracetamol or some any painkiller, but you never know that maybe you're holding and suppressing so much emotions. Maybe you are disturbed. Maybe you are anxious. So that's why you're having tummy ache or a stomach pain. Just it's very necessary that for you to understand yourself, although you are having really physical pain, or you are just suppressing or having a emotional blockage. So EFT, we call it another name as a tapping. Tapping. Like we tap the blockage area, and we said ourselves that okay, this kind of, if we're having a blockage or some kind of trauma that we are releasing from our body. So EFT is that, and there is a very good EFT. We can use it in different techniques and therapy with the EFT, and we can remove so much blockage and so much mental trauma by EFT programming. And NLP is a neuro-linguistic programming. It's called a language pattern. So you can use different language. In my previous programs, same in Venus, I give advice to the all mothers that when your child is, like just suppose your child is watching telly or playing with the video games or playing with their Xbox, because in those days children, they are very much into the gadgets. And mom normally say that, okay, now this is enough and you should have to go back to your study. It's not the right thing. According to the NLP, we teach our mothers that how you deal your children, or adults how you teach your juniors.
What should the mother say on that?
Mother said that okay, the interest you are taking into, and you spend 2 hours now, and you are very you are very happy. You are taking so much interest to playing your games, and when you sit down, you should have to show your interest same towards your study. And I always tell my children that I don't want that you study whole day long. Just study 2 hours, but with full concentration.
Right. So it's about
give them a positive manners. Yes. Give them a positive talk. Yeah.
Okay.
And
great.
don't compare things with each other. It's very necessary. And neuro-linguistic programming, it's in your DNA. It's in your genes. But the thing is that how you have to bring it in line.
Okay. We have another caller. Hello, caller. Your name or where are you from? Hello.
Yes, dear.
Hi, can we have your name and where are you from?
I'm from Harrow, Mrs. Ahmed.
Hi, Mrs. Ahmed. Can we have your question?
Yes, my question is, she's answered most of my questions. I just want to say hello to her by saying that she's doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Maybe I would like to ask another question about children.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I think we've lost Mrs. Ahmed. Okay. David, we were before the break talking about good energy and good people and bad people, and not all bad people are bad, and not all good people are good. And I suppose energy is the same as well.
Exactly.
Is there anything you want to add on that? On that?
Sure. I think the question went along as how do you tell these things, and and to enhance upon that, how do you put yourself in a better space so that you don't attract this kind of energy around you as well. And simple things like meditation and having positive thoughts. I mean, when I'm teaching people and trying to help them evolve and grow, I always try and teach them a simple meditation to do every morning, because that sets you up for the rest of the day. It puts you in a good space. Positive thinking. And I know that word, that expression is bandied around a lot, but it's having positive thoughts. So catching yourself thinking about something negative and realising you're focusing on the negative, then that puts you in a negative state. So what you really want to do is focus on positive things. And when you catch yourself, change it. So if you think, oh my God, it's a horrible day, and turn it in, I've got to stay in. For example, it's snowing, I can't do anything. How about it's snowing, doesn't it look pretty? It's bringing a nice stillness to the place. Everything feels nice and still now. And actually I feel more peaceful and more calm. And the snow's really nice, and yeah, I can't get into work. Let's enjoy the day off. And that just simple thought process there of altering the way you're thinking then helps you to feel more at peace. And simple things like going out in nature, connecting with the earth, walking through the parks, connecting with the trees, connecting with the ground underneath your feet, leaving away all your gadgets, as was mentioned earlier on, putting your phones away, putting your computer away, your laptops away, your iPads away, and just focusing on more basic things like walking in nature, simple breathing techniques and meditations and all this kind of stuff, are very baseline stuff to put yourself in a good space.
You know what's going to happen when I go home today, don't you?
You're going to meditate.
My kids are going to tell me, Dad, laptop away, phone away. Yeah, you're going to meditate.
I'm going to add on that, please, in the morning especially, put your phone 100 feet away from you. It's very necessary. When you get up from bed, show your gratitude towards the cosmic energy, towards the God, that, oh, thank God that I'm so good and I woke up in the morning. It's very necessary. So tell yourself that, thank God, I'm so beautiful, I'm so in peace, I love myself. And then start your day. Produce your day.
I've grown up hearing, the words like positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing from both of you to a certain extent is a an addition of that is a type of that.
Yeah.
You've created programs around that.
Yes.
You've created how to teach somebody along those
Yeah.
lines. And, I've grown up watching films with martial arts and so on, where
Yeah.
they talk about some of this, and they talk
Yeah.
about meditation, and they talk about, the inner energy and,
Yeah.
and getting yourself in the right phrase of mind,
Yeah.
should I say. And that actually helps you doing right, rather than having just... And the other thought I'd say is, people say, don't have negative people around you.
Yeah.
It just creates negativity.
Negative.
And that's absolutely right. And it comes down to this again. Everything is energy. Science has proved this. Isn't hocus pocus anymore. Science proved this decades ago. We are a vibrating universe. We're all tiny little particles. No matter what you see, if you put it under the right microscope, we're all particles moving around. And so they intermingle. So absolutely, keep positive people around you. Keep positive energy around
And
you.
there is no need to do it, think or wait for the big deeds. Just start your day with the small deeds. When somebody, like I always say that when you are driving it, if you're going to give away to other people, just pass a smile. Start to pass a smile to the other people.
Doesn't hurt being nice to somebody, does it?
Absolutely not. What you give out, you return. And that's what they talk about when they talk about the law of attraction. Again, the energy. You put out positive energy, you get positive energy out back. How many times have you seen an angry person and never seem to be happy? When you're angry and when you're unhappy, you become ill and you become sick. And it's because your energy is in disharmony. So you're being positive to people, being nice to people. And if you don't like that person, then just avoid them. It's very simple. You just keep away from them.
All right, so a couple of tips now. I'm going to try and use scenarios
Okay.
as the best way of understanding in my simplistic mind.
Yeah.
I've got up really feeling terrible, don't really want to go to work, it's cold. How do I change that thought pattern?
First thing you do is you sit down, you take a few deep breaths, and on each out breath you just allow everything. It's like a big sigh. Every animal I know sighs. It's a big... And you're just releasing your stress by doing that. So you do that, and then you catch yourself thinking about that. And you think, you know what? It's good to be alive. And yeah, I'm unhappy, but I'm going to change this. I'm going to be positive. So you just take the few deep breaths, and then you catch yourself, and you stop yourself thinking along those lines. And you look for something outside. Oh, look, the sun's shining. It's going to be a lovely day. And it does take a bit of practice. It does, because there's something called pre-paving, which means you've got a certain thought pattern that's been going on for a long time. But you can change that. Very easy. And that's what we're doing with divine knowledge. We're bringing all these things, and you notice the word divine, because all the time we're talking about tuning into our energy, tuning into ourself. And when you start getting that and you're feeling it, you have some inherent knowledge within you, and that starts to expand and understand things.
Okay, my last example to you, and we're almost at the end of the show, is so we have a quick response to this,
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel a little bit ill. I've got a cold coming on.
What do? Find a healer. No, I'm joking with you. Of course you can do that. But again, if we're talking about ourselves, you start to employ certain techniques that would make you feel better. If you haven't been trained in anything, then you just start to take it easy. And you start seeing yourself as well. You start envisioning yourself as well. And it's the same if you meet somebody that's that is unwell. You don't focus on their unwellness. You focus on them feeling better, and you do the same within yourself as well.
Great. David, well, look, it's a pleasure meeting you. We could have gone on all evening on this topic.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
great. I've got a lot of knowledge, should I say, rather than information from here. And I look forward to meet again at some point and carry this on. So thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you very much.
Neelem, thank you for co-presenting
Thank
with
you
me as
very
well
much,
today.
Afzal.
Have you got a final message for our viewers?
It was a
We've
wonderful
got 30
day.
seconds.
It's a wonderful evening, and I always say that please be happy and spread happiness around you. It's very necessary. Love yourself and spread love around you. And create your day. Make your life again.
Thank you. And viewers, finally, thank you for tuning in. And for those viewers that called in, thank you very much for participating. I'm sorry, we did have one final caller who rang in. Towards the end of the show, we couldn't take your call. Please give me a call afterwards and I'll pass your message on, or call us on the next show. But please, I think it's about being positive. It's staying positive. Have a positive mental attitude, okay? If you think things are going to be right, they usually do tend to turn out to be right. And for anyone out there who's suffering from any problems and tensions, please do go and talk to a professional, talk to a GP, talk to a mental health worker, or talk to anyone else you think can provide help. There's lots of different ways of getting help on there. But thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the show, and we look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday at 8 o'clock on An Evening with Afzal Akram. Take care.